they never tell you what comes with having kids. Hey besties, so let's talk today. I think I've done a lot. I have few minutes of making this video and I'm batch creating. Feel like I have the energy, you know, I have everything that it takes to do this video today. It's almost 4 p.m. time to pick up my girls, and again next time you watch me, you won't see this hair. I promise you won't see this hair. You won't see this hair. So yeah, but for now, it is what it is. So you guys, if you're not following me on Instagram, kindly go do so. Instagram handle is real_Ruth. That's where you get to interact on a daily basis. I had shared last week about oh my god. Okay, let's do this again. I had shared about things that we are never told before we get into motherhood or before we have kids. Losing your spark after having kids. And let me tell you, kids can hold you down, especially when you have kids after your 30s. Having kids in your 20s, it's quite good because at some point you'll be like, now you can snipe back and then you're like, I'm back, I'm going to work on my career, I'm going to work on my goals, on my dreams, I'm going to do this, and then you're out there and you start just blowing. But having kids at your 30s, over 35, it can be quite difficult because you can easily lose your spark, and then getting it back, it can be quite difficult. On our last vlog, I had mentioned that for me, when I was a child, I was like, I want to be a millionaire when I turn 40. Right now, I'm 36. I only have 4 years left. And also, I was like, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be a nurse. When I grow up, you know, we all have that. We all have done that. Like, when I grow up, I want to be an air hostess. I want to be a pilot. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a secretary. I want to be a therapist. You know, we all have gone through that. And I'm here asking you a question. Are you what you wanted to be when you were growing up? Are you what you wanted to be? Immediately after you got married, you started giving birth, your first baby, your second baby, your third, or your first and your second, and then all of a sudden you are in your 30s and you just lost spark. Kids are holding you down because you are like, now, do I take care of my kids? Do I take care of my home? Or I'm going to nurture my talent? I'm going to nurture my career? Because sometimes co-hosting the two things can be difficult. Now imagine you have an 8 to 5 job, and then you have kids. Maybe you have a toddler, you have an infant. At some point you're like, do I leave the job, take care of my baby, or do I look for a house manager? Oh, do I look for a house manager to help me take care of my home and also take care of my babies as I work on my career? Paranoia moms who cannot even allow their babies to be with someone else unless it's them or close family or a very, very close friend, which you will also feel like you are tying them up to your own shenanigans instead of looking maybe for a house manager. Because I'm a paranoid mom, I'm not gonna like look for a house manager. I will have to drop my career first so that I can take care of my children. Now that is where like losing yourself comes in. By the time you finish, like you are in that stage, your toddler or your baby is in that stage where you feel like you can now leave them. That is maybe 4 years, and you feel like you have wasted a lot. My opinion is the earlier you give birth to your kids, the better. Because when you do that in your 20s, it will be very easy for you to snipe back and work on your career. Now imagine you're getting kids at your 40. Some things are medical, like maybe you have been trying, you're 35 and you're still trying, you are not like conceiving and all that. It's quite understandable. But if you are able to, if you find yourself in a situation whereby you get married or you marry at 25, 26, around there. For me, I gave birth to my firstborn at 25. So for me, I'm not regretting at all. Because I know sniping back is very easy. Though I had a target of achieving at least my dreams at 40, of which I am left with 4 years to do that. I'm like, that is not real bad. I can snipe back comfortably and start nurturing my career, nurturing my goals and my dreams and everything. Now, if you are 36, you are 38, you are 39, you are 40, you are 40 something, and you are thinking of giving birth, maybe you have already nurtured your career and your talents in your 20s. It can really tie you down. Unless you get married to a very, very kind partner. You get a very kind partner, a very understanding partner who'll be like, you have a life. Even before you got married to me, or even before I married you, I had a life, I had careers, I had visions. I wanted my life to look like this, and now I'm married, I now have kids. I should understand you and reason with you in a way that you having kids or us having kids, it's not going to affect your career. You can easily adjust. Start now nurturing your career, or you start now working on yourself, and you start now, you are everywhere, you are doing what you really wanted to do when you are a child. I want to snipe back. I want to get back. I want to now work on my career. I want to work on my goals, on my visions. Me, I usually feel that moms, we are on healing process daily. Every day you are trying to heal from something. No one tells you about that. No one tells you what comes with you being pregnant, the emotions, the journey, the stress, the trauma, the everything. Like, we are on a daily basis, we are healing, and no one tells us about that. Maybe you have only one kid, and then someone somewhere is like, what are you doing? Add another one. They aren't telling you what comes with you having 2 kids. Like, now me here, I'm not telling you what comes with me having 3 kids. Hey, so besties, a lot has happened. I felt overwhelmed at some point, and I just had to and again, I did not want to miss this information. So this is another day, like 3 days later. So let's just fix this yeah, and continue. So I was saying, at some point you only have one child, and then you start getting the pressure from people around you, like add another sibling, like you need to give birth to 3 or more children rather than just having one. But we will not tell you what comes with you having 3 kids. For example, I do have 3 girls, and let me tell you, Maina, it's not very easy. Like, just to jangle in between those 3 girls, it's not very easy. At some point you will feel like you are not like giving them an equal love, because for me, I was raised in such a cycle that I felt like my parents had their favorite child, and I felt so left out. And I'm not going to dwell a lot on that, but at some point I felt like my parents had child, of which it wasn't me. So now for me, raising them is quite challenging, something that you just need wisdom, and also just tell God to guide you on that, because at some point you're like, when I'm correcting this particular child, she listens, or they listen, they do whatever you want, they're just like the best. And then kuna yule mwenye ukiongea asikii, like every time you are whipping them, every time you are punishing them. So at some point also they will feel left out. And again, you having more than one child, the problem is also like you find out that maybe your firstborn bonds well with the thirdborn, and then the secondborn might bond well with the fourthborn, and again you only have 3. So the secondborn feels left out, and at some point they will start giving you pressure, like, mom, I need a brother, I need a sister, so and so like goes well with so and so. And for me, I feel so left out, because for me, I usually feel my firstborn bonds well with the thirdborn, and now this middle child, sometimes she feels left out. And also, as a person, let me tell you, and I'm going to tell you the truth, I have my favorite. I have my favorite child, and I try as much as possible not to show that. And let me tell you, it's very difficult. When you have your favorite child, it's very difficult for you to hide it out. It's very difficult. So if you're there, you only have one child, enjoy while it lasts. Enjoy while it lasts, because it's quite difficult for you to like make sure you are giving them the same love. And let me not lie to you, at some point we don't share, we rarely share that equal love to them. You're like, this girl, when I say this, she does, when I say this, she obeys. They're so, and then kuna yule mwenye, they're just stubborn, and that's them, and nothing you're going to do about it. So before you get into the pressure of you want to have like more than 3 kids, you want to have 2, you want to have 4, also think about how you're going to share, like how you're going to love them equally, how you're going to like jangle in between the 3 or the 2. So again, that one might just start giving you pressure. I need a sibling, they will be like, I want to go to someone's house where there are a lot of kids because they need company. At some point we also fail, like we usually say, you should also be a child, especially if you have one child. You'll have to make yourself a child. You'll have to make yourself fall or suit into that child, so that you just provide the necessary company for them. And also you might just open doors for him or for them to be going out to play with other kids, go to someone's house where there are like more than 2 kids and all that. So nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. It's never a walk in the park. It has thorns. Motherhood has its thorn. Marriage has its thorn. And now, before you decide whether to have children, whether to have more than one, whether to have 4, whether to have 5, just think about it, and also seek, like, tafuta information. Have those people who have look for those people who have the experience, and then those people who will also tell you genuinely, not like in quotes, but they are free, they are open to sharing information, a genuine information to you. Because utafika mahali uanze kusema, I wish I knew, sikuwa najua inakaa hivi, sikuwa najua kuna kanga hivi, sikuwa najua this is how it feels to have 3 kids, this is how it feels to have 1 kid. everything has its own advantages and disadvantages. For you to do it swiftly, or for you to have at least, just like make sure that you seek the necessary information and seek it from genuine people, seek from those people who are way experienced. They have experience more than you, okay? Because it's never that easy. It is never that easy. Something that we are not also told is when you give birth, you go through some changes. At some point, you are not the original you. You are not the original you. You not look like an 18-year-old girl. You not look like a 15-year-old girl. A lot of changes that you will go through. It's a transitioning, actually it's just a transitioning process, and you need someone who will be there for you positively, not someone who will be like, now you may change, you are not like this, you are too fat, you are too thin. You know, ladies, we do a lot. We go through a lot. Remember, there's pregnancy, carrying the pregnancy, there's giving birth, there's monthly menses, there's family planning. Like, we just go through a lot. Now you can imagine you are there, and you know, you understand what I'm saying. So it's a transitioning process that needs someone to be pouring positivity into you, someone to encourage you, someone to walk the journey with you. Transitioning process needs someone who will support you and who will always be there for you, someone not to be despising you, someone not to be talking about the negative side of you, but someone to encourage you and walk the journey with you. So it's very important when it comes to choosing a life partner. And if we are already in the game and you realize that at some point you made a mistake, it's never too late to start again. You can always communicate your feelings out, how you want everything to be, how you want things to go, and all that. Just make sure that you understand each other. So it's never that late. You can always communicate. If you are already in marriage and you feel like at some point, nilimes, like I did not take the right decision, I did not take time, you know, sometimes when you're dating someone, you won't be able to like know every character of them, but the moment you get into marriage, like you start now that journey, and also you will realize some things that you didn't know. And again, when you give birth, there are those things that you now, okay, kumbe it's like this, you are like this. So the only thing that you can do after realizing everything when you are already in the birthing tub, the only thing that will help you is just communicate, talk it out. Tell your spouse or your partner, I want it this way, you know, and we are going to do it this way. Just make sure that you communicate, okay? So it's never that late to start anyway. So that is what I feel like I was never told before starting the marriage thing, and also before I gave birth to these three beautiful girls. Anyways, I'm hoping that you have learned something, and if you are already in the game, make sure that you communicate. Tell her, tell him, communicate, especially ladies. Tell her, because most of the things that I've talked zina-based sana na ladies, like giving birth, raising children. You have to choose between the these and these, your career and these. You have, you know, you have to just make sure that you are jangling around. So communicate. If you're already in the game, make sure you communicate, okay? And if you aren't, seek information. Be educated about everything. It's not a walk in the park. It has its own downs and ups. It has its own thorns. And remember, marriage is a lifetime thing. You're supposed to spend 100 years with this with someone's son or someone's daughter. You are supposed to spend all those years that God will give you. So you can imagine how terrible it will be if you're not going to seek enough information and make sure that you are ready for it, you have decided and all that. For me, when I got married, I was not ready for it. Let me just say it, be sincere, I was not ready for it. But along the way, we just had to sit down and communicate, because we are already in the games. What will you do? You just have to sit down, communicate, and make sure that you understand each one for you to move on swiftly. So I'm going to end this video right over here, because hey, it has been, I've done this I've done this so many days, but I'm hoping that I've delivered whatever I wanted to deliver. And if you have enjoyed it and you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, like this video, share me out, and also drop a comment in the comment section, and I will really appreciate. I'll be seeing you on our next video. Just remember to stay real and also keep peace. Bye.